Hi everyone, it's Lindy. Today I want to talk about how to be more productive and get more things done during the day, and also how to get started doing something that you have been putting off doing for probably a really long time. Because that's me, like all the time. It takes me forever to get started on anything. Can you relate? So if you're anything like me, I really struggle with being productive throughout the day, mainly because there are a lot of things that I don't really like to do. I'm just being honest. There's a lot of things I don't like to do. I don't like to work. Even if I like what I'm doing, I don't like the act of working. You know, I don't like cleaning my house. I don't like doing laundry. I don't like shipping. I don't like listing new stuff. I don't really like taking pictures. I don't like sitting at the computer for a long time. Come to think of it, I don't really like to do anything. I like to sit on the couch. That's my jam. But unfortunately in life, we have to do these things. We have to get jobs, we have to do work, we have to make money to provide a living, we have to maintain a household, we have to take kids to school, we have to cook dinner because the kids gotta eat. Stupid eaters. Everybody's gotta eat. So as much as we want to just lay on the couch and binge watch Netflix all day, we really can't. We have a lot of things that we have to get accomplished in the day. But I think way too many times, myself included, I think we all tend to just do the bare minimum most of the time just because there's so many things that we don't want to have to do. So if you're at all like me, this video is for you. I did a video a really long while back, I want to say over a year ago, that was about getting the most out of your day by simply getting dressed. And I'll go ahead and link that video here in the iCard because I do still think that that was a really good video. And if you're a newer subscriber and you haven't seen a lot of my older content, that one is a good one. So I'll go ahead and link that in the iCard. Which side's the iCard on? Don't know, it's up here somewhere. But anyway, I talked about you can be a lot more productive just by simply getting dressed, and I kind of go over all of that. But this video is a little bit different. So when you get dressed and you start being productive, how productive are you actually going to be? That is the big question. We all have the same amount of hours in the day, we all have the same daylight, we all have the same general basic sleeping ritual if you think about it. I mean, most of us, we try to get at least 6 hours of sleep, and if you're not getting at least 6 hours of sleep, you need to change something because you need at least 6 hours. 7 is great, 8 is fantastic, but you need to work on your sleep if you're not sleeping that much. But we all have the same amount of time, and so if we have a lot of things to accomplish, we need to try to figure out what we can do to increase the productivity in the time that we do have. And so I have started rewarding myself. I know it sounds silly, but hear me out. So as children, when we are developing personal habits or we're learning things like potty training or trying foods that we don't want to try or getting a good grade on a book report and bringing home, you know, a report card full of good grades, we learn that these are good acts because we get rewarded. Our parents tended to reward us as children, and when we get that reward, we realize that we did a really good job. But I feel like when we turn into adults, the rewarding system kind of stops because it feels like when we get to the age of being an actual adult, we already know what we should be doing. But let's bring the rewarding back, shall we? I feel like when I do a good job, I deserve a reward. So that's what I do. I really tend to get a lot more done during the day when I know that I have a reward coming for myself. It's our nature, so why not use that to our advantage? So for myself, I give myself 3 different kinds of rewards. I give myself a daily reward, a weekly reward, and a monthly reward. I haven't really worked up to an annual reward because that might be overkill. I don't have to treat myself all the time. However, a tropical vacation every single year sounds great. And now these rewards do not have to be big. They just need to be a little something that basically gives you a little pat on the back and says you did a good job today, or you had a really good week, or you really busted your butt this month. It just needs to be a little bit of something to incentivize you to get a little bit more done. And the rewards that you use are definitely customizable to whatever you want. I'm just going to give you some examples of ones that I do for myself, and maybe they sound like your cup of tea, and those could be the same rewards that you use for you, or you can come up with your own things. So in order to reward yourself, you have to know what exactly you are rewarding. So I always do kind of a to-do list for myself every single day. I always plan out my week, and then every single day has its own to-do list. And so I have certain things on this to-do list that I have to accomplish in order for me to reward myself. And then there's like some extra things that are kind of like the cherry on top or the gravy on my mashed potatoes. It's not things that I have to get done, but if I do get them done, it's awesome. But there is always few things that I tell myself I have to get done. There's always the bare minimum things, and then there's also just a few extra things above the bare minimum, because you don't want to reward yourself for just doing the bare minimum. You want to reward yourself for going above and beyond. So basically, I have a daily list for myself of everything that I want to get accomplished, and then at the end of the day, right at the very end of the night, that's when my reward comes in. So if I get everything accomplished on my list, my daily reward is usually binge watching. Usually it consists of sitting in my jammies on the couch, watching a minimum of 2 episodes of a TV show that I've wanted to binge on. The number of episodes will, of course, depend on how long the show itself is, but I will usually give myself about an hour and a half to 2 hours to just binge watch a show I've wanted to watch, or catch up on a show that I really enjoy. Or if there's not really anything I'm really in the mood to watch, I'll treat myself to maybe a movie on Netflix I've wanted to watch or something. Sometimes my daily treat is going out to dinner, because a lot of the times when I have been really super productive throughout the day, if I've accomplished a lot of things on my to-do list, the last thing I want to do is cook a meal. So I do try to plan meals ahead of time for my family. I'll maybe do a little bit of meal prep, or I will have something thrown in the Instant Pot or something. But if it's a day where I have really dropped the ball in planning our meal ahead of time and I don't really have anything planned, if I've been super productive that day, I don't want to cook. Let's just say that. I don't want to stand at the stove for 30 minutes to an hour, or I don't want to just whip up some pancakes to feed us really quick, because that's not exactly a healthy dinner option. But maybe my daily treat is going out to dinner. You know, maybe I'll have a list of things and I will accomplish all the things on that list, and I'll be like, yes, now I can go out to a nice dinner with my family and I can feel like it's a treat for myself, because the reason why we're at a dinner tonight is because I busted my butt today and I earned being able to go out to eat. Now, some examples of a weekly treat that I have is a date with my husband. Now, I know dates are really important anyway, but they are exceptional for me because I really enjoy being able to go out to lunch or to go out to dinner and then go see a movie in the movie theater that I really wanted to see. Can you tell I'm a movie watcher? Because I am. I love movies. I love TV shows. I must have been a couch potato in another life. So a weekly treat that I have is going to the movie and either a dinner or a lunch with my husband. It's something that we do, it's our thing, and I really look forward to that every single week. And so being able to look forward to something like that really gives me that kick in the butt to be productive and get things done during the week, because I know that if I am well behaved and I do what I'm supposed to be doing, that I'm going to get that treat at the end of the week. And my husband is actually very good at holding me accountable and asking me, were you productive this week? Because when my reward involves somebody else, it is kind of nice to have an accountability partner a little bit, because my husband doesn't want to take me away from getting work done if I haven't been very productive. So that's also something to keep in mind. Something else that I'll do on a weekly basis to reward myself is taking a day off or taking an afternoon off. You don't have to take a whole day off. You could just take an afternoon off. So maybe I will take Friday afternoon off and not worry about working. Or, you know, I'll get a lot of stuff done Friday morning and then not work the rest of Friday. You know, or if there's something that I wanted to do on a Wednesday or a Thursday, I will plan a list of things to get done, and then I will reward myself by knowing I have that afternoon off. Sometimes just knowing that you're going to take that extra time off from working is enough of a productivity boost to get a lot of things done because you know that that break is coming. And then the monthly reward that I usually do for myself is either something like a long weekend or maybe a shopping trip. Yeah, that's right, I'm a woman. I like to shop. I'm not afraid to admit it. So maybe once a month I will take that afternoon that I've given myself and maybe I'll just go to the mall. I'll plan some time with my husband so he stays with the kids, and I'll just maybe go walk around the mall by myself. Maybe I'll do a little bit of shopping. I definitely budget for myself because woman alone in a mall could go a little bit crazy. But I will take like an afternoon to myself and maybe I'll do some shopping, or maybe I'll go thrifting for myself, or maybe I will plan on going and hanging out with some friends, something like that. So that would be an example of something that I would do every single month. And now the key here is to create a reward system for yourself that you really look forward to, because when you get to the point where maybe you don't feel like working, or you don't want to do something, or you don't want to tackle your to-do list, when you have those rewards in the back of your brain, it kind of helps you to move forward and actually accomplish them, because you know that the pain that you're feeling of getting things done is only temporary, because you have those rewards set in place for yourself so that you can go do them when you've accomplished what you need to accomplish. But now, how do you get started? How do you get started doing something that you've really been putting off? For me, it's listing. I hate getting started on doing listings, but the trick is, get a pen and paper, you're gonna wanna write this down. Just do it. I know, it sounds so simple, but really, if there is a task that you have been putting off because there's this impending doom surrounding it because you don't want to do it, just get started, get going. So for me, it's really hard for me to get started with listing. That is like the bane of my existence some days, is just getting started doing some listings on eBay. But sometimes if you just sit down and you just force yourself to do it and you get that first listing done, you suddenly start to realize, that wasn't so bad. And then one listing turns into two, and two into three, and so on and so forth. And before you know it, you've listed 10 items in a short amount of time that you would have normally just spent putting off this impending doom of doing what you knew that you had to do. So sometimes just sitting down and actually doing it is enough to get you started and get you going. And then you can end up accomplishing a lot more than you had intended to when you first started, just because you realize it really wasn't that bad to begin with. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video and videos like it, please give me a thumbs up so that I know. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comments below. Do not forget to check the video description for a lot of useful links. And do not forget to subscribe for more content. And I will see you guys with my next video. Bye.